Hey guys, today we're going to go over the new DataX agents and what they are. A very niche way and very cool way to use AI. They can receive emails, they can receive webhooks from any software, and they can run on a schedule. My name's Elliot. I'm going to show you how to set it up. I'm going to show you some examples that I use every day. Let's get started. Okay, so first we're going to log into DataX and we're going to go to this little robot icon here. This is going to take us to our AI page. We can see we have normal chats here, and these are just chats you can just talk. Hey bot. And you can use this. The chat feature is a great way to use AI. This is already connected to your JobTread if you have that setting configured. So we can talk to our JobTread. We can say, look at job gross deck and tell me what went well and what didn't. It's connected to your JobTread. You can run normal chats in here and talk with it. I would use this for simple things, or if you have a big team and you don't want to buy, let's say your team doesn't have their own ChatGPT or Claude or other AI subscriptions, we can set them up in DataX and they can use this to start their AI journey. They can use the chat. It's chatting with their JobTread. It's using their JobTread permissions. If they have their grant key set, they can ask it questions. They can do things in JobTread to make their lives more efficient, and they don't have to go get their own ChatGPT or Claude subscription if they don't already have it. Now, if they do already have it, everyone knows we've got the MCP server, which is the same connection. You can use it with your subscriptions. If you have you're paying more money for the big subscriptions to get more usage and to do advanced tasks, maybe like Claude Code or ChatGPT Codex to do those really complex tasks. That's where you use the MCP server with your existing accounts. But like I said, if your employees don't have it, or if your team doesn't have it, this is a great way to get them introduced to using AI. It's already included in your DataX. Just add them as a team member. So this is the chat feature, and we can see we asked about a certain deck. It says what went well, what didn't go well. Overall, financially, the job went really well. Operationally, the JobTread record did not get cleaned up. You have to go back into JobTread and clean the job up. And it could do it here if we asked it to, but we'll skip that for now. So these are our chats. We can rename them. We can delete them if we want to. And there we go. You get to track your usage down here. This resets every month. Let's go into the agents. Now let's go into the agents. So we have a few things here. These are our different agents with their little icons and colors. This is its own tab. So if we click on the agents tab, you're going to see a lot of things happening. We'll just go through it one at a time. We're going to start here with tasks and stats. This Kanban board shows all the tasks that the AI agents are working on. A task, whether they received the task from an email that they got, a webhook trigger, or if it's on a schedule and it's like 5 o'clock on Monday, a certain one runs. They'll create a task and it'll move itself through. If it gets stuck, it's going to stop here in the needs attention. You can click into it and see what it needs attention for. You can reply to it and it will continue until it moves over here to complete it. So I'll show you more of this as we start using it. The stats page shows you how many tasks total. It shows you a little graph of when all your tasks are running, breakdown of completed versus in progress versus stuck. You'll see all those. You see all my tasks are being triggered by emails right now. I really like the email feature. You can see which agents are running, and you can see some stats. Average completion takes about an hour, 15 minutes. That's really complex stuff. Most of the tasks take a few seconds to a few minutes to complete. It's estimating our time saved. So each task you run, the AI will tell the system, DataX will estimate, hey, your receipt job costing agent would have taken a human anywhere from 8 to 15 minutes. So it's just adding up all of our time saved. So you can see over the last 2 weeks, I've saved about 9 hours and 50 minutes from these agents running, and it's estimating a value. If we were to give a team member an hourly rate, what that would cost for a human, and it's just saying, hey, this is about what we're saving based on this, which is really, really interesting. If we go back to our task page, this is our agent's homepage. We can create a new task and we can create a new agent, and we have some settings. Let's go to create a new agent first. So if we click this, we'll get a drop down. Create a new blank agent or browse the library. If we go to the library, we have several pre-built agents already in here, and you should look through them and figure out what looks good. We're going to go to this grammar checker. This was an idea we saw in the JobTread Facebook group. Thought it'd be really cool to make it a simple agent. You click into it, you can read the description, checks and corrects the grammar for comments and daily logs immediately after they were created inside of JobTread. Instructions preview. So these are the instructions that the agent has. When a new comment or daily logs are created inside JobTread, you'll receive the webhook data. Your job is to look at the comment and daily log and fix the grammar to be more professional while still capturing the essence and emotion of the content. Update the comment and daily log with your edits. When finished, give me a summary of what the previous content was and the new content you updated with. So I'm going to just hit Install Agent here. It's going to install it. Now you can see in my Agents tab, let me go back to the home page, we have the agent. So we have the grammar agent. Now what these instructions do, we just read them. If I wanted to update these to be more specific to my company, I would go in here and I would update the instructions. Maybe the instructions on the other agents don't fit your company exactly, so you need to take some time, go in here, let me expand this, and edit this to fit exactly what you need. I would do some testing, start some new chats and do some testing just to make sure, and just keep editing to what you really want. One cool thing, we're going to test with this comment. We're going to say, Billy Bob done did install the tulip partitions done yesterday, today with, that might be too complicated, done yesterday, today with Jimmy did touch-up painting. So I'm just testing this. We're going to run this through our grammar checker agent and see what happens. So it's thinking, so here's what it cleaned up. It cleaned it up to, Billy Bob installed the tulip partitions yesterday. Today he completed touch-up painting with Jimmy. That sounds way better. But it said I wasn't able to update JobTread because there was no comment or daily log that this was actually attached to, which is fine. And we can say here, adjust your instructions to add context to the comment along with fixing grammar. So the really cool thing about agents is you can ask it to update itself. So we have those instructions. You can see update agent instruction. It did that task. We can go back and look at the instruction and it's going to update itself based on the what you ask it to. So let's say you're doing this agent and it's not getting the right results. And so you're just chatting with it until you get the right results. When you get the final results that you like, say, hey, agent, what would be a good prompt or what would be a good update to your existing instructions for you to get this result that we just got next time on the first try? And it'll tell you and ask it to update itself, and it will. That's super cool. It's a self-improving agent, which is super cool. So let's go back to the grammar checker and let's look at the instructions. When editing JobTread comments or daily logs from webhook content, improve grammar and professional while also adding brief clarifying context when needed, as long as the original meaning and tone are preserved. So it added this part, and so it just added this part here. And if the instructions were more complicated, like some of these other agents, it would splice it in where it needed to go in the right area. Okay, so we've got our grammar agent, but we need it to run on a webhook. So if you notice here, webhook inbound, we're going to turn that on. What this does, this generates a URL, very special. I'll show you here. This is the URL, agent webhook, and then a string of random numbers here. That's the very specific webhook that this agent can receive data from. So you can receive webhooks from JobTread, but also any software out there. Let's go and talk about that for a second. There's this thing called Awesome Webhooks on GitHub, and it shows you a list of all the outgoing software that sends outgoing webhooks. Like all this software will send outgoing webhooks. I'm sure there's more, but you can look here and you say, okay, if we're using any of this software, we can send a webhook when something happens into the DataX agent and it can do stuff and push it into JobTread or edit in JobTread. So a good example would be if you come down here to HubSpot. So a lot of you guys know HubSpot is a really robust CRM. A lot of people track their sales and their leads in HubSpot and then do JobTread for your project management. So you could say, HubSpot, whenever I have a lead switching from a lead to a signed contract, send a webhook to the DataX AI agent, and it will take that data from HubSpot and push it into JobTread, create the customer, create the job, create the location, create the budget, whatever you have in HubSpot. You can send that data to the DataX AI agent, which will do its magic and push it into JobTread. That's so cool. This webhook for these agents is super cool. So I'm excited about that. So anyways, we're taking this webhook URL. We're going to take that webhook and we're going to go into JobTread. I'm going to go to Settings, Integrations. I'm going to find the JobTread API. I'm going to go down to Webhooks. I'm going to create a new webhook. I'm going to use that URL. Then I'm going to say every time a comment is created or a daily log is created. So those are the two things. When their comment or daily log is created, we're going to send that data to the agent. So I'm going to hit Create Webhook. Now what we want to do is we want to test it. So I did some testing here, but let's do a new one. Let's say Billy Bob done did got those toilet partitions installed how yesterday. What's something else funny we can say? Jimmy touched up them painted walls. Okay. Silly comment. Grammar's not great. We're going to hit send. So that comment was created. So JobTread is going to send a webhook to the AI agent. And if we look here, you'll see the task popped. It was here, and as it started working on it, moves itself. And it's working on it, it's thinking, and it'll probably go pretty quick. You just saw it move to completed by itself. So we click into the task, and we can see starting task, task completed, update this new job. Now, if we go into view chat, that's going to take us to the actual chat of what was happening. So we're in the grammar checker. We're on this one thing. It said done. I updated the comment. It was this. I updated it to Billy Bob installed the toilet partition yesterday. Jimmy also touched up the painted walls. Okay, so let's go back in here. Billy Bob installed the toilet partition yesterday. Jimmy also touched up the painted walls. Updated that comment almost instantly on this chat. So if we go back in the grammar checker, we can see just now the webhook comment rewrite there. If we go back to our agents to see the task, this task came in. We saw it move across when it was completed. Done. Grammar checker agent works awesome. I'm going to keep that activated and we'll just let it keep running. So as things are created, it will update grammar in here. Just makes us look more professional because the clients can see the comments in the daily logs. Okay, let's look at another agent I have. This is probably my favorite one. It's my receipt processing agent. And you can find this in the library. But when you get it, you're going to have to update some stuff because I have some of my construction company name and things in here. But these instructions are massive. You can see here. We'll go through it super quick. We'll say if no name number is given, extract it from the receipt. Use the receipt's public URL to read all details. So what this does is this AI agent has an email address that I can forward from my company's email. Every time I get like a Home Depot receipt or a Ferguson receipt, I just forward the receipt to this agent, and I'll maybe type in the email. I'll say, hey, this is for job 1234. And these materials were for the downstairs bathroom. Let's say we have 5 bathrooms. It'd be hard for it to know, so I'm just helping it out the best I can. It's going to look at the duplication rule, make sure we're not duplicating anything. Here's the workflow. Step 0, load the tools that we need to for the AI. So it's going to load these tools so it knows how to look and manipulate inside of JobTread. Phase 1, gather the data. We're going to get the job, get the budget, find the vendor, create the vendor if it doesn't exist, make sure there's no duplicates of the bill that we're about to create. Then it's going to create the bill. We're going to calculate the receipt total. We're going to, I have it including tax is what I want my vendor bill total to be. You, again, change it to what you need it to be. Step 6, create bill in one call. It's going to do all of this and create a bill, call the Built with Love purchaser or purchases. It's going to do a brief description. It's going to cost items. It's going to take all the items on the receipt and match them in the budget of the job. And it's going to override the cost to make sure the receipt numbers match or the vendor bill numbers match the receipt numbers. Phase 3, verify and attach. It's going to verify all the numbers. Then it's going to attach the bill to that job. Phase 4 is just going to look at everything and confirm it. And then a bunch of critical notes going all the way down, just telling it how to handle different situations. So those are my instructions. It looks big, but the AI handles it like a champ. Then I've got this email inbound. So you can see what we're calling an alias. An email alias is a very specific email that we can create for a very specific agent. So this one is called bwl.receipts@agent.winyourdata.com. So I can just hit this copy button here, and now I can copy and paste that email and forward things to it. I could even set up this email in, like, let's say like Home Depot, for all receipts to go to this email, and I don't have to forward them anymore. Something to think about if you want to do. Okay, but let's look at the settings page. So if I go back to agents and I click on this settings page, it's going to take me here. The agent email prefix, this is going to be, think like 2 or 3 letters, maybe 4 letters of what you want your organization to be defined as. My construction company is called Built with Love, so oftentimes we do BWL. So we have BWL as our agent prefix here. If someone else is already using the prefix that you want, it will not let you save it. So just be aware, we do checks, make sure there's not duplicates. And the allowed senders list. All of your users inside of DataX are allowed senders, no matter what email they signed up with. So like I used an email here to sign up for this account, and I use this other email for a test user on the DataX account, and it automatically adds their email. My office for the construction company has a different email, so I'm using that down here, and I'm adding it as an allowed sender. So all you have to do here is just add a new email address. You can pick which agent. Maybe you only want to allow this email for certain agents, but if you want to say all agents, you can just go ahead and add that there. It won't add this one because it's a duplicate. But if you want to add more, let's say you have different emails inside your organization that you want to allow. Because if we go back to the receipt processor, email inbound here, it's currently marked off, which means it's only the allowed senders on that list that we just showed you are allowed to send emails here. If you turn this on and someone in spam finds this, or someone malicious finds this email, they could just bombard this email and this AI agent would just run constantly. So you really want to make sure you're filtering. You can add specific emails here just for this agent too. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go into our email. When I have this receipt, what we're going to do is we're going to forward to that bwl.receipts@agent.winyourdata.com, which is this right here. I'm going to tell it, I always do this to help it out so it doesn't have to think as hard. AI isn't that smart. It tries its best. If you can help it, it's better for everybody. So I just say job 1213 Woodmont, materials for pocket, South Hall dining room pocket door trim. Okay, so I'm going to forward that email to the agent. Now if we go back, we see the email came in. Oh, we just saw it move, so the agent grabbed it and it's processing. And we'll just wait here and see where it goes. If it runs into issues, it'll come into needs attention and it won't process any further. If it figures it out, it's going to go into completed, and theoretically we didn't even have to be here to watch it. Okay, we see it just moved to needs attention, so let's see what we need here. It needs help. We created the vendor bill and confirmed no duplicate. The available document create update interface environment did not accept or expose line item pricing overrides. So the bill total remains incorrect. Okay, so let's go into the chat and see what it's saying. You can see all the work it did. It's working through. It looks pretty good. So it says the issue, the bill was created from a matching budget item, but it defaulted to the budget amount instead of the receipt amount. Okay, it should know to update it. The receipt total should be, what's the next phase? We're going to tell it to update the document using cost item overrides for the to get the total correct. Okay, so it looks like it followed through and it was able to update it, and we'll say record a payment for this and mark task complete when completed. Okay, and if we go back, it didn't update, but we know it updated, so we'll just move it over here manually. It doesn't always work. Like I said, AI is very finicky sometimes, but as you see down here, we've got so many things that were successful, and it just happens that the one I showed you on the video had a little bit of issue. But what we can do is actually go back here. We can say, what were the issues with processing this fully autonomously? Oops. Can we update instructions to make sure we don't get stuck next time? So again, going back to letting the agents update themselves so they know what to do. Okay, so it says, to prevent this next time, I should add a persistent instruction so when a receipt bill is created, the total is wrong, and I have the document line items. I should always attempt the line item update before declaring any limitations. I thought it was already doing that. It's saying we should add something like this or this. We'll say, yes, update the instructions, please. So now it's going to add more instructions to itself and update some stuff so it knows not to stop too early next time. Okay, I feel good about this. It's updating itself. We have seen receipt processor, grammar checker. Now let's look at one more. Let's create a new one. We'll start blank. We'll call this the PM overview. We'll say daily. PM daily overview. So we said every day at 5 p.m. this agent checks all active jobs and looks at their budget versus actuals and schedules to find any red flags. So that's the agent. The description of the agent doesn't do anything other than help us describe the agent. Let's go in here and edit this icon. We maybe want a hard hat. Oh, that's cool. Hard hat. And let's pick a color. I don't have a blue or pink. Let's do a rose. Cool. And it's little details, but it just makes it fun. Okay, so the instructions would be something like, let's just ask it. So I'm asking the PM Daily Overview agent to write instructions to look at all active jobs in JobTread, then look at each budget versus actual and schedule to highlight red flags that need attention. For each red flag, offer a solution to get back on track. Write these instructions for yourself. Okay, it just told us it added. It didn't tell us what it was, so let's go back and look. Here's its instructions. When asked to review active jobs, practically follow the workflow. 1. Use JobTread jobs. Get active to retrieve all active jobs with customer orders. For each active job, review the budget and performance. Amazing. Identify red flags, such as cost overruns, margin, slippage, stuff like that. Summarize findings job by job, clearly calling out each red flag. For every red flag, provide a practical recommended action. And then 6, present the review in a concise management summary. Okay, I like that. We'll start with that. And what we want to do is we want to run this on a schedule. We want to say, every day at 5 p.m. Central Time. You can pick your time zone, Central Time. So it will, actually run in 12 minutes, and it even says it right there. How cool is that? So if I wanted to run this, I could just do a new chat and say, run now. We'll see what it says. It'll say, run your instructions now, and we'll kind of do like a test and see what it says. So it's already pulling in jobs, and we'll let it keep running. Okay, so it's not looking at stuff correctly. So I said active jobs. It didn't pull the right jobs in. It pulled in this one, medium priority this one. So it's working. So what I would do, I would just keep going through and editing the instructions to make sure it's getting the right stuff. A good way to do that would just be this. Pull a list of my active jobs. And we would see what the active jobs list was. We would edit it to make sure that we were good. So it's pulling in this Churco remodel that I don't think is an active job. So we'd have to update that in JobTread because it's finding it wrong here. So anyways, so you just keep doing instructions until you get it right. But this is a great start to PM Daily. I'll add this in the library so you guys can take it and run with it. I'm going to keep this on the schedule. I'm going to add this to the library so you guys can see it, take it and run with it. And But that's our agent's overview. Again, it can receive emails. It has its own email. Every agent does. It can accept webhooks, so any software can send data to this, and it can manipulate it, push into JobTread as needed. It can run on a schedule, so like we saw in the project manager daily 5 o'clock, it's going to run on a schedule and give us some thoughts there. Okay, so one more thing we didn't talk about. We talked about email inbound, but there's like a little secret that we added, is that these agents can actually email outbound too. You have to turn email inbound on, but we'll call this guy PM overview, PM-overview. So now this email address, it will receive inbound email. So anybody, well, my company can email this guy. Now that he has an email address, he can actually email out too. You have to specifically say to email out. So I'm going to say email admin@builtwithlovellc.com, your thoughts on the job gross deck. And so we have this old job, it's called gross deck. Great. So it sent an email on its thoughts, and it's the summary of what it sent. So let's go look at it. Here's the email right here. It says, you can see where it's coming from. It came from this agent, which is so cool. I'm smiling ear to ear about it. Financially, it looks closed out, clean. Actual cost here, customer invoice there, fully paid. Main concern, job setup data looks inconsistent. Yeah, we budgeted so many different things for this job. So there's a lot of different proposals out there, but we finally landed on the one that they wanted to do. So there's like there's a lot of documents there. Schedule task management is a big red flag. Nothing is marked progress on this schedule. It went so quick, we didn't really do it. Margin looks strong, 84.7%. Yeah, so that's great. So recommended actions, bottom line, it gave us a summary, and it emailed that from the agent. So as you create tasks in here, or agents, you can have these agents email people that it needs to with summaries or with its research or whatever you're having it do. So yeah, email outbound is like a little secret I forgot about. As you guys build out agents, add them to the agent library so others can have a place to start. I know they take a little bit to work on, but it really helps if the community can kind of jump on, and those of us that are smart and good at this stuff, like, be a help to the community and provide those boilerplates, those templates for other people to start and kind of jumpstart their AI journey, even if they're not, if they're just getting started, they might need some help. So let's help them out, guys. If you have questions, always reach out. We're here to help as much as we can. If you run out of token usage, you can click down here on manage tokens. You see right now about 33% usage here. We give you about 20 million tokens a month. We're coming out with this new thing. It's not out yet, but the idea is to like 10x, 20x the amount of tokens we can give you, and that's going to be a huge value. It's essentially unlimited tokens. You'll never hit the max, but that's our plan. It's coming out very soon. But if you start hitting some things right now, we just have this request usage limit, so you can just say, hey, running lots of cool automations thanks to DataX. And you need to estimate how many you think you need. So if you're hitting 20 million, if you're hitting like 10 million a week, and we give you 20 million a month, so maybe say you need 40 million total. How many do you think you need for a month? Let's just say you need 40 million. Submit that request. We'll get an email. We'll reach out. We'll try to help you out there. So, cool. That's it. Appreciate you guys. Reach out if you want to talk and chat about this. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.